In today's news, Emancipation Festival theme and slogan confirmed. With Chapman advance in international squash tournament, 9 locals represented. Tourism and hospitality scholarships, the stepping stone to elevating the industry. And Health Minister headed to Barbados for a ministerial meeting. But these and more stories when 284 News return.
The Art of a Distinguished Gentleman presents Sons in Suits Brunch, a celebration of fathers and sons, at Treasure Isle Hotel on Saturday, June 17th, 10:30 a.m. to 1 p.m., featuring guest speakers, Deputy Governor of the Virgin Islands David D. Archer Jr., Pastor Courtney Jones, entertainer Raul Jugu-Sprov, entertainment by Johanse Smith and Che Pemberton, alongside DJ Molly. Tickets are $75 for a father and son duo and $40 single tickets. Fun, food, fellowship, and fatherhood. Lots of giveaways included. Ticket outlets are CCT flagship stores on Tortola and Virgin Gorda. Calling all fathers, sons, father figures, nephews, and uncles. Sons in Suits 2023, hosted by the Art of a Distinguished Gentleman, a red carpet celebration of fathers and sons. For more information, contact 442-3132. Proudly sponsored by CCT and 284 Media.
Happy Father's Day to you. Happy Father's Day.
Welcome viewers to the Wednesday, June 14th edition of 284 News. I am Kamal Haynes, bringing you the latest out of the British Virgin Islands. While leading today's news, made a highly successful rollout of the performance lineup for this year's Emancipation Festival in Tortola. The Virgin Islands Festival and Fairs Committee has confirmed the theme and slogan for this year's festival. With the 2023 Emancipation Festival will be held under the theme a celebration of our freedom with cultural flair and creativity while embracing our unique diversity. Along with the slogan, it's a cultural jamboree, so let's fet and be free for Festival 2023. But the theme was submitted by Angenique Sheltonham and slogan by Asia Riviere, or each of the teens walked away with a prize of $250 for their winning submission. But this year's Emancipation Festival is already picking up traction on social media as the public positively responds to the slate of performers who will take the stage throughout the season. But confirmed performers at the time of this report include Morgan Heritage, Jada Kingdom, Valiant, with Samuel Medas and Keros, the Grandmaster Band, Monet, Patrice Roberts, Overdrive Band, and Kess the Band. Ticket sales so far have been remarkably successful, with all the available tickets selling out within an hour of their release at CCT stores on Tuesday and Wednesday. BVI's Joe Chapman was the lone local to make it through to the second round of the Kerry Olsen Tortola Classic, an international squash tournament that is being played at the Tortola Sports Club. For more in this report. A total of 9 players represented the territory in the first round of the tournament, which commenced on Tuesday, June 13th. With Joe Chapman played against countryman Rory Thornton in the only match of the evening that was all local, defeating Thornton 11-1, 11-1, 11-1 to take the match 3-0 and advance to the second round. A highlight of the evening was the second match between BVI's Daniel Henderson and Armando Algin of Mexico, where despite Henderson losing the match 3-1, the 15-year-old managed to take the first game against his Mexican opponent, who is ranked at 378 in the world. At 1-1, he also held game ball in the third, narrowly losing out 15-3. But the final score was 7-11, 11-2, 15-13, 11-4. In another fixture played, Dion Alsem of the BVI gave it his best effort, but it was not good enough to beat the 15-year-old Mohamed Zakaria of Egypt, who took the match 3-0. The other game saw Ireland's Stephen Hurst defeating BVI's Stuart Raw 3-0. Netherlands' Sebastian Hoffman beating Oliver Henderson of the BVI 3-0. Aaron Allpress of England getting a victory over local Paul Collard 3-0. Scotland's Tino Antonio Mackay Palacios beating Zach Jelusic of the BVI 3-0. And Taylor Carrick of Bermuda taking a 3-0 match against the BVI's Seb Donovan. But 284 Media caught up with Daniel Henderson following his match, and he spoke about the experience gained from the international tournament.
It's an amazing opportunity for me to play these tournaments, especially at a young age. You know, I'm 15, just turned 15, and yeah, I mean, it's incredible for me to play at a pro tournament. Even though I lost, I mean, it's a great experience. I gained a lot out of it, and yeah, it was just a great experience.
Henderson also spoke on how he got introduced to the sport of squash and what it means to represent the BVI at the highest level in a sport he loves.
I started playing when I was 10, played for about 5 years. I used to play a lot of tennis, but I mean, squash has caught my attention a lot just because, you know, as a young age, and I feel like I'm quite fit as well, so I feel like squash was a very good sport for me, especially in the BVI. Growing up here, we have these amazing courts, and it's a pleasure to play down here, and yeah, I mean, compete at a young age. I mean, it's incredible for me.
And what does it mean to represent the BVI in squash?
I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm repping the shirts. I mean, I love the BVI. The BVI is my territory. Yeah, representing the BVI is just what I love. Going away to tournaments, Junior Casa, to like Caribbean event. I mean, yeah, it's great. I love representing BVI.
We also had an opportunity to speak to Armando Olgin of Mexico, who described the first round against Henderson as very difficult.
Of course, it's very rewarding coming to a tournament that I enjoy. I have fond memories of previous tournaments here. It was a tough game, but it's very rewarding coming through the first round. The first round is always the most difficult one.
And speak about some of the challenges he would have faced versus a very young 15-year-old, you know, BVI lander. You know, let's speak about the experience and, you know, the potential that you would have seen also too playing against Mr. Henderson.
Well, the experience it's very interesting to play against somebody that you've never seen before. You know, the idea is that you want to treat him as just, you know, just another opponent on the court, and this was no exception. He's very talented, and I think he's very young, and he's definitely had a lot of potential to improve and really, you know, get much better.
Meanwhile, the coach of the BVI national squash team, Adam Murrow, said he was impressed with Henderson's performance on the evening. He highlighted several takeaways from Henderson's match against Olgin.
He did really well, first of all. Danny's young, he's only 15 years old, so he's our youngest competitor from the BVI in the tournament. There is also a 15-year-old from Egypt, and he really held his own. So Armando's 378 in the world, coming all the way from Mexico, so he's of course a proper player. And Danny came out strong, managed to win the first game, so big achievement claiming one of the games. Armando responded really well, in fairness, and he found almost a slight weakness in Danny's game. So I know Armando from my time on the tour, so we had a little chat after the game, and he felt that he could just expose Danny a little bit down the backhand side. So from watching the game, you could see that he did focus his attention on that backhand side. So from a coach's perspective, it's almost a good thing when something gets highlighted as a potential weakness. It's something that we can go away and work on. So definitely positives for us to take away, and yeah, look to strengthen before the Junior Caribbean Champs, which is in July.
Coach Murrows also took the time to encourage the BVI public to come out and support the sport of squash.
Squash in the territory is growing all the time. We're looking to grow at grassroots level right through to the elite level. We're always looking to recruit new members. It's a really friendly club, both on the tennis side, the squash and the gym. So we're always welcome to, new faces are always welcome here. We have lots of events going on, like this professional event. It's not too often we get pro sport here in the BVI, so anyone out there who's sporty, even if you're not sporty, if you're at all interested, please come down, check it out, come and grab me, have a word with me, I'll explain the rules, like I did with you that time. Come down and enjoy it, and hopefully you may just find, another pastime, another hobby that you really enjoy.
Reporting for 284 News, I am Kamal Haynes. The tournament continued this evening at 5:30 p.m. at the Tortola Sports Club, where the #1 seed and world rank number 58 Bernat Joam played 15-year-old Mohamed Zakaria of Egypt, where Joe Chapman is also set to face off against Frenchman Laszlo Goda in the 6th match of the evening. Well, up next, tourism and hospitality scholarships, the stepping stone to elevating the industry, and health minister headed to Barbados for a ministerial meeting But these are more stories after a word from our sponsors.
When you're in need of air conditioning, installation, repairs, or replacement services, Markinson Air Conditioning and Refrigeration has the professional technicians, equipment, parts, and ACs to get the job done right. Markinson Air Conditioning and Refrigeration carries top brands like Daikin, Aircon, Mitsubishi, and more. We're open Monday to Saturday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Located in Fish Bay. Telephone 340-4114 or 343-9511. Markinson Air Conditioning and Refrigeration, providing exceptional services to the British Virgin Islands since 2015.
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I got here. My name is Kamal Haynes. Most of you know me from 284 News, but now you get to see me in a different light on my very own show called Health is Wealth. We have Joel Turnbull.
I don't want you to arch your back when you're pulling down.
Milton McLean.
First of all, right, your footwork.
Stephen Payne.
That was a 9 out of 10. I know you got the service down pat.
Steve Augustine.
You did a pretty hard workout today, so perhaps...
And as you can see, it's actually
you're feeling it.
Lonzo Boynes.
Taekwondo.
Adam Murrows.
I'll speak as if you're an absolute beginner.
I am an absolute beginner.
You are an absolute beginner.
And Seth Graham.
It bites. It will bite.
Get your water, get your fruits and veggies, and experience a wealth of knowledge about getting healthy. Welcome back, viewers. The Tourism and Hospitality Scholarships, which are being offered to Virgin Islanders through the BVI Asia Abroad program, are being lauded as the stepping stone that will elevate the tourism industry in years to come. But this was the sentiment shared by the director of the BVI Tourist Board, Mr. Clive McCoy, during an interview with 284 Media on Tuesday. McCoy, at the time of his statement, was joined by Assistant Secretary of External Affairs in the Premier's office, Ms. Cyril Wheatley, to advocate on the new scholarship program, which will be offered by the Macau Institute for Tourism Studies, which is located in Macau, China. But the director said he believes the scholarships will allow for the BVI to graduate from being mainly recognized as the sailing capital to the tourism capital of the world.
What I can say is that the BVI is poised to take massive strides in tourism moving forward, and we will need the necessary human resources on the ground in the BVI to be prepared for these strides that we're going to be taking. The British Virgin Islands, for many years, we've always said we have two pillars, financial services as well as tourism. But as we could have seen, that we saw during the pandemic, the territory is highly dependent on tourism. We saw what it felt like when persons weren't coming into the territory. And for us to be prepared for the future, we need to have the necessary skills on the ground. And this program will allow us to put these persons that go to the school in place to make us not just the sailing capital of the world, but the tourism capital of the world. That is the dream.
Director McCoy also spoke on some of the feedback that he has received since the announcement of the program, which includes concerns that he was able to address.
I've spoken to a few persons about it. They seem quite excited about it, but you know, you get some skepticism in terms of it being in Asia. And I tell people all the time, I say, listen, the school is number 10 in the world for tourism and hospitality. So it's almost like going to an Ivy League school for tourism and hospitality. So the opportunity is amazing. And when you break it down to them in that fashion, their eyes perk up. They kind of understand a little bit more of what you're trying to sell to them. And again, we're just thrilled about the opportunity to put BVI Islanders at the table.
Wheatley provided details on the scholarship program and explained that during this initial stage, only 2 spots are available.
As many persons may know, or those who may not know, the BVI Abroad Scholarship Program has a plethora of opportunities, but on this occasion, we're here to talk about one particular one, which is the Tourism and Hospitality Scholarship Opportunity that is being offered by the Macau Institute of Tourism and Hospitality. So there are two opportunities, as you rightfully mentioned, one for undergraduate study, which we call the Bachelor Degree Program, and one for the Master's Degree Program.
And who qualifies for these scholarships?
As with the general program, it's for BVI landers and permanent residents, so basically open to all persons that have permanent ties to the BVI.
Wheatley also spoke about the webinar, which is set for Thursday, June 15th, that is being held to inform and address questions from persons who are interested in registering to the program.
The webinar is going to be on Thursday, the 15th of June at 8 p.m. BVI time. We'll have staff from the BVI Hong Kong office to answer all questions that you may have pertaining to living in Asia and what they have to offer to students. There will also be officials from the university there to answer questions, to talk you through the application process, to answer questions about what it's like to study there and to live on campus as well.
Well, in a Government Information Services release, it was announced that Minister for Health and Social Development, Honorable Vincent O. Wheatley, will be attending a ministerial meeting on non-communicable diseases and mental health in Barbados this week. For more on this report.
Honorable Wheatley, accompanied by Acting Chief Medical Officer Dr. Ronald Georges, will join other regional ministers and attend the Small Island Developing States meeting in Bridgetown, Barbados from June 13th to the 16th. The health minister stated that his attendance at this meeting will give him the opportunity to meet with counterparts within the region, build synergies and relationships within his new role. He said the meeting will also garner greater exposure to the topics of interest and how improvements can be made in the NCDs and mental health within the territory. Wheatley said, and I quote, "It provides an excellent opportunity for the Virgin Islands to have a voice and direct contributions to the regional and international agreements, conventions, and plans targeting NCDs in mental health. This," he said, "will also ensure that Virgin Islands issues are represented at the highest level." The meeting takes place ahead of the United Nations General Assembly high-level meeting on universal health coverage in September. The session is also being held in recognition of the high burden being faced on small island states in the areas of non-communicable diseases and mental health, as well as the impact of climate change coupled with the impact of COVID-19 has had on health and economies in these vulnerable states. The conference follows SID's high-level technical meeting on non-communicable diseases and mental health held in January 2023, where representatives from small island states discuss the advancements and hindrances in meeting Sustainable Development Goal 3.4 that relates to non-communicable diseases and mental health. Prime Minister of Barbados, the Honorable Mia Amour Motley, Director General of the World Health Organization, Dr. Tedros Adhanom, and Director of the Pan American Health Organization, Dr. Jarvis Bossara, will address the three-day meeting.
Up next, CCT and CTL to host Father's Day activities, and the Climate Change Trust Fund Board is back. With these stories, when 284 News return.
Rashford made it. Manchester United have come from behind to lead.
At home or on the go, watch CCT Live. Download our app and carry your favorite TV shows, news, or live sports anywhere you go. Visit cctbvi.com/live, select your package, and tune in.
Hi, I'm Roti Man. Welcome to Naturally Tasty. This is our Sophie Bay outlet.
Sophie Bay, our first indoor outlet.
Roti Man here at our Rotown Waterfront outlet. Here downstairs on the first floor is our grab and go section.
And we have an arraignment of items. A lot of people think we only have rotis. We have freshly baked desserts over here. Then we also carry patties, Jamaican patties. We carry croissants, buttermilk biscuits. We have coffee, local bush tea. We carry our rotis, a variety of rotis every day. We have sandwiches, salads, fruit bowls, local juices. We do commercial juices, wines, and beers. We also carry our freshly made frozen products. So for example, we have frozen lasagna. We do shepherd's pie. We do curry chicken, curry vegetables, the quick and easy options. We also sell our rotis in the frozen state. A lot of persons travel with them, or you can have it on a boat trip with you. We have so many items to choose from.
Which basically is what it is. Grab and go, and you can come, sit down, and enjoy the plaza, enjoy the beautiful waterfront, and just enjoy peace and serenity. Have it.
Naturally Tasty by Roti Man.
Thank you, Roti Wife.
Welcome back, viewers, and thank you so much for sticking with us. Well, this weekend, members of the public are encouraged to make their way down to the CTL home locations in Tortola and Virgin Gorda to be a part of the Father's Day activities being undertaken by CTL and CCT. Well, Jacko Wedding paid a visit to CTL this week to gather all the details on the upcoming events.
Hey to it for, I'm Jacko Whitting, and today I am coming to you from one of my favorite places here in the BVI, CTL Home Center. CTL is preparing to do it big for Father's Day, and of course CCT and To It For Media are right there along with them, bringing you an amazing event. We figured who better to pay a visit to about those activities than our good friend David Thomas over here in his office. So take it away, David.
Hey BVI, it is your boy Dave here at CTL Home Center, and I am happy to announce that we are bringing back the iconic, the exclusive, the only at CTL, because nobody does Father's Day like CTL Home Center, our Father's Day pajama sale. If you've been here for a pajama sale before, you know what it is. It's really exciting. If you have not been for a pajama sale, well, you get to come to CTL Home Center between 5 a.m. and 6 a.m. You have to come in your pajamas. And you get 25% off the entire store. Whole thing, kit and caboodle, whole thing, 1 hour. Yep, come in your pajamas. You can win a prize. There's a prize for the best pajama. Most liked, which will be voted on by your peers. So come on, show out, dress to impress. Come on and get it. Virgin Gorda, we haven't left you out from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. in Fiji. You guys get to come shop in the store in your pajamas same way. And yes, you get the 25% off the entire store from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. in Virgin Gorda. We have bush tea, free muffins, free cookies, free mini empanadas, again from 5 a.m. here at the fish-based store. And you guys know we love the bush tea, you know, and the cookies and the muffin and everything else, because we have to set you right and get you ready for this sale that's gonna happen that day. But that's not it, guys. All day long, CTL Home Center, we're gonna be spinning the savings wheels. So we spin it at 9 a.m., 12 noon, and 3 p.m. and wherever that wheel stops, that's the discount in the store for the next hour. So if you didn't get up for that pajama sale, then you know you still get a chance to get up to possibly 20% off. It all depends on where that wheel stops. And again, that's not all. It's 20% off paint all day. If you're not able to get up out of your bed, or if you don't want to come deal with the crowds, you can shop at ctlbvi.com, www.ctlbvi.com, and you get 15% off all day. Yeah, 15% all day long. There's 10% off breakfast from 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. at Bell's Cafe that day also. Oh my God, we got so many things going on here at CTL Home Center. You will be crazy if you miss it. You have to come down and catch it. Spend $100 or more, be entered into our raffle. And we're raffling a barbecue grill, power tool, and an air fryer grill. $100 or more, you get a ticket, goes into the box here and in Virgin Gorda. That raffle will be pulled on Monday, so yes, you get to shop all day long, and get a chance to win a raffle. And there's still more. Oh my God. Nobody does Father's Day like CTL Home Center. CTL Home Center and CCT are partnering again for the Daddy's Day Dash. If you remember from the last time we did this, and maybe you don't, so at the end of the day, during the day, from Monday the 12th up until Friday, top up $20 or more at CTL Home Center or at any of the CCT stores, or any of the CCT top-up locations, for a chance to be one of the 4 lucky fathers that will be entered into this Daddy's Day Dash competition. What is the Daddy's Day Dash competition, you asked? Well, it's like a supermarket sweep just at a CTL Home Center. You have 1 minute to race around Clarence Summers Limited and put as much stuff in your basket as possible. There will be roadblocks, so it'll be fun. Whatever you put in your basket, whatever you get in your basket, whoever has the most value at the end of 1 minute, you get to keep what's in that basket. Courtesy or compliments of Clarence Thomas Limited, CTL Home Center, Bell's Cafe. We do it for you. We're your store. This is Father's Day. Nobody does Father's Day like CTL Home Center. Make sure come shop in your PJs, come win a prize. I mean, there are raffle prizes, there's prizes, there's discounts off on CTLBVI.com all day long. Oh my, how you gonna beat it? So see you next Saturday.
Thanks, David. I couldn't have said it better myself. BVI, you have your marching orders, so find your best PJs and make your way down to CTL Home Center. Of course, it's a place you could find everything that you need for your household. And what better way to get those things than 25% off? We're looking forward to seeing you all on that weekend. I'm Jacka Wooding, signing off for 284 Media. Bye!
Premier and Minister of Finance, Environment, Natural Resources and Climate Change, Dr. the Honorable Natalia Wheatley, has pledged his support to the members of the re-established Virgin Islands Climate Change Trust Fund Board. For more on this report.
The board serves as a vehicle to mobilize, manage, and strategically disburse large-scale international financing to support the implementation of local projects, programs, research, and education initiatives, and to respond to the issue of climate change. Premier Wheatley said, and I quote, "When I met with the environment team a few weeks ago, I indicated to them that the environment and climate change will be on the government's high agenda under my leadership. I assure you that we will have this government's full support and respect as you fulfill your mandate on the board." The Premier further reminded members of the important role they play, which will shape the territory's climate change adaptation story. He said, and I quote, "As members of the board, you have an important charge and you will lead the trust fund through the critical stage of its operations, moving the trust fund from an institution conceived in law to a functioning entity, ready and able to deliver for the people of the Virgin Islands." The Premier also highlighted the level of commitment that members of the board have exhibited thus far, and stated that the Virgin Islands is fortunate to have such a committed group at the helm, which is not only extremely passionate about the future of the territory in the face of climate change, but to possess varied and expert skill sets to manage the trust fund. Meanwhile, Permanent Secretary Mr. Ronald Smith Berkeley stated that while the territory's carbon footprint is negligible when compared to other jurisdictions across the globe, small island nations and territories are caught in a cruel paradox as they collectively are responsible for less than 1% of the global carbon emissions but will suffer the greatest effects. Smith Berkeley said, and I quote, "According to NASA, Earth's current warming is happening at a rate not seen in the past 1,000 years. According to the Panel on Climate Change, since the 1970s, the influence of human activity on the warming of the climate system has evolved from theory to established fact." Chairman of the board, Mr. Edward Childs, indicated that the priority task will be securing the committed seed funding to support establishment of a secretariat, enable international fundraising efforts, and ultimately launch the trust fund first public call for proposals for projects to be funded. The Virgin Islands Climate Change Trust Fund will be able to finance a wide variety of local projects and programs such as environmental restoration projects to help restore critical natural ecosystems, projects to diversify the green tourism industry, projects to help the agriculture sector adapt to more severe drought and heat stress for livestock, resilient infrastructure projects, and renewable energy projects. The board will be advertising for members to represent an academic or research organization and the financial sectors. These roles were previously held by Dr. Catherine Smith and Ms. Shelley Bend, respectively, who were unable to continue serving at this time and who were recognized for their service during the ceremony to reappoint members. Members of the Virgin Islands Climate Change Trust Fund include Financial Secretary and ex officio member Mr. Jeremiah Frett, Permanent Secretary for the Ministry of Environment, Natural Resources and Climate Change and ex officio member Mr. Ronald Smith Berkeley, Chairman Mr. Edward Childs, Deputy Chairman Mr. John Clean, member representing a non-governmental organization or community-based organization Dr. Shannon Gore, and member representing a resident in the territory who possesses relevant knowledge, expertise, or experience, Mr. Ronnie Letsom. The Virgin Islands Climate Change Trust Fund was legally established in 2015 with the passage of the Virgin Islands Climate Change Trust Fund Act.
Well, that's all for today's news roundup. Be sure to follow us for daily news updates at 284media.com and like us on Facebook at 284media and 284BVI on Instagram and Twitter. I'm Kamal Haynes, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Have a safe and enjoyable evening. Bye-bye.